Hey guys, welcome to another video. And Cedar Point actually just announced probably a few days ago that Snake River Falls will be biting the dust by next month. And so we're going to be talking about speculations what we could possibly see go in this plot of land. But before we do so, I haven't been posting in a while because I got busy. I just had to catch up a little bit with the coaster industry, but other than that, I've been doing a lot of household chores. That's why you don't see me upload all the time anymore, unlike before. But I'm still trying to keep up with my channel. So just to keep in mind, and we'll get started. So Snake River Falls will be closing, and this will be a new plot of land that's gonna be empty. So what can possibly go on its spot? Now, before we even discuss about the possible type of roller coasters that Cedar Point could get, they're also doing a coaster poll, so they're having this little survey thing that guests will choose for what kind of ride. But we're gonna talk about the possibilities, what they could possibly get for this park, because technically they always want to try to build new coasters and break some records. So what could possibly go on its spot? So we do have a couple of coaster types that we could possibly predict and see what could fit in this plot of land, because remember, this is a really tight and skinny plot of land, but they can do some work if they were to take out part of Shoot the Chutes Rapids. Shoot the Chute Rapids was their water ride that opened in 2010 and closed in 2012 due to an incident. The boats tipped over, so they had to take down the ride. Unfortunately, the pieces still remain there, and you could probably still see it while riding Millennium Force or when riding the Sky Ride, which is their bungee jump ride. Technically, if they were to take that out and clear this land, then they're going to have more room for a new coaster. Now, the only problem with adding a new coaster is that they will have to add something that will go over the water, because remember, there is like a little river here that is surrounded with these two plot of lands. So if you take this out and you clear the space, then you have potentially enough room for a decent sized roller coaster. And so they can pretty much do what they want to do, but they also want to try to break some records, because Cedar Point really wants to break records, because this is the Rockin' America's roller coaster, and so they want to make this a tourist destination. So they gotta get something really big and something like tall and fast. But with the plot of land that they could work with, if they were to take out their Shoot the Rapids attraction, the part of it, if they're to remove all of that part of the ride, then now they have room for what you call maybe a GCI Woody or something. But we're gonna talk about the possible coaster types that they can go for. So an RMC Raptor could possibly fit in that land, so they can make him the longest RMC Raptor, maybe the fastest and tallest. So they can do so much with that land. They just have to be very creative on how the coaster will be and how it will fit in that land. But an RMC Raptor is a good choice because, well, one of those coaster types is a good choice because, number one, there's nothing like it in the park. Number two, this is going to be a ride that will be thrilling, and at least it's also by RMC, because they got Steel Vengeance, which is an RMC hybrid, and now this will be an RMC single rail coaster. There's nothing like it. I mean, the nearest one that you will get is Jersey Devil coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure, but at least this one will be a little bit maybe they can do a custom design and stuff. They can add maybe the most inversions on an RMC Raptor, so they can try to still like break records. Maybe this will have 9 inversions on an RMC Raptor. This will be the tallest one and fastest yet in the East Coast, and it's the only one like it in Ohio, so at least maybe Kings Island will not get one anymore if Cedar Point were to get one. Another coaster that I could possibly see is maybe like a Premier launch coaster. Not like Full Throttle or Magic Mountain, but, you know, a custom designed one. Kind of similar to Alpine Fury going to Canada's Wonderland next year, but it's more custom. So maybe they can go with like maybe a top hat inside, like accelerator, or maybe they can do some kind of loop, or maybe like a Norwegian loop on a Premier coaster, or maybe they can do a dive loop first. So anything, they just custom designed Premier SLM launch coaster. Not like this though. And this video is being used by Six Flags Magic Mountain's official YouTube channel, so just to keep in mind. So I forgot to give credits on the other one, but I'll just put their names on the top. So maybe they'll feature 2 launches, and you know it's gonna be different from any other ride at Cedar Point. Though they lost a launch coaster with Wicked Twister, they only have 2 right now with Maverick and Top Thrill 2. So maybe they need another launch coaster for Cedar Point. So this will probably fill in the gap. Plus, they don't really have a backwards launch coaster. What? Wait, Top Thrill 2 does go backwards, but they don't have a coaster like that has inversions in it. I mean, Maverick is one, but like they don't have like a traditional launch coaster with multiple inversions. I mean, like a Premier coaster at least, or something that doesn't have like a lift, like a lift launch or something. You just go straight to a launch and stuff. They need a 3rd launch coaster for this park. So that will definitely probably round out all. So I think a Premier could be also a good idea, but I kind of doubt this will happen. Or another coaster that I could see is a Mock water coaster, and you know, since because they're losing a water ride, Snake River Falls, that's their Shoot the Chutes ride. Cedar Point really needs to bring back another water ride. So the only 2 left are, I believe the only one left is the Rapids ride, and so they would be losing another water ride, which is the Shoot the Chutes ride. So they only have 1 left, which is the Rapids ride. I forgot the name of that. So I just looked it up, and their River Rapids ride is called Thunder Canyon, and that's the only one they have at Cedar Point. Now, before we do any more explanations, this is being used from Coaster Force. I am actually using this clip right now because the last video was way too short for the vlog, so I had to move on to the next one. So my apologies there, but I don't have any footage for any rides of a water coaster by Malk Rides. Anyway, but the good thing about having a water coaster by Malk Rides is that they're gonna bring back another water coaster, and they also took out their log flume because they had to make room for Maverick, their Intamin Blitz coaster, which is right next to Steel Vengeance. So they had to take that out. So they're only down to 1 water ride now. So if you could potentially see a mock water coaster come to Cedar Point, then they would have 2 again. Now the problem is, we'll get to the problem about this coaster in a bit, but I also want to share that this is also going to be mixed roller coaster and mixed water ride at the same time. Here's another problem about this. Technically, Cedar Fair doesn't really seem to work with mock rides a lot, but they did get Copperhead Strike at Carowinds. So, but we've never seen a water coaster by Mock Rides at a Cedar Fair park. And so I was thinking that maybe they're not going to go with a water coaster. So what could possibly replace Snake River Falls? But my best option, we'll talk about that later. But about the water coaster, the good thing is that it's another water ride that Cedar Point will receive. And number 2, at least it's another roller coaster. But here's another problem about adding this coaster. This will not break any records from Cedar Point, and I don't think they're going to make it the tallest mock coaster because that land is kind of small to make it very tall, because you need a lot of plot of land in order for you to fit a very tall water coaster. So if you want it like Giga or Hyper Coaster level and you want to do a turntable on it like what they did in the survey, or possibly like a dueling one, they have to have a lot of room for that. But from what I can see from the land, it looks pretty small to fit it in. So I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll just have to wait and see. So, but they really need another water ride is what I'm really hoping that they will get. But I don't see that coming because technically this is going to have to be in a big plot of land. But they can still try to be very creative with it though. I just don't think they will build this if other Cedar Fair parks didn't build a water coaster yet. But it looks cool though. But the really ride that they need for Cedar Point is It's a GCI Woody. This will be technically what will fit best at Cedar Point. Plus, they don't really have another wooden coaster at this park. I mean, the only wooden coaster you'll get is Blue Streak. So, adding another Woody will be another classic for them, and it will definitely be a little bit of a bigger wooden coaster. This is probably not gonna be a little geared towards families. This will probably be more for adults. So, a little bit of an intense wooden coaster, but I wouldn't say it would be like too extreme. I mean, from what I can see is that this will not go upside down. Of course, GCI coasters doesn't go upside down, so possibly they will get a second wooden coaster, and this will actually be a little bit taller than Blue Streak. Maybe just maybe a 200-foot tall GCI Woody, if they have the room for it. Maybe it will go over the water, and so maybe it will be the longest and fastest wooden roller coaster by GCI. It's gonna have those twister trains, of course, the same trains that you see on Apocalypse, Gold Striker, etc. And it'll probably be the fastest wooden coaster in Ohio, probably. Maybe a lot faster than the Beast at Kings Island. So this will probably throw in maybe a lot of bank turns, possibly maybe airtime, maybe the most airtime on a wooden coaster. So, but the problem with adding a GCI, because they already have Mystic Timbers at Kings Island, I still do not know if they could go with this, but this would still be the best coaster. I mean, a good choice for them. So at least they have another Woody, another classic for Cedar Point. Although people think that Gemini is a wooden coaster, it is not a wooden coaster. It is actually a hybrid coaster built by Aerodynamics. The coaster looks like wood, but the track is steel, which makes it look like your typical wooden coaster that you see in your county fair. But a GCI wooden coaster is really a wooden coaster. There's no steel structure in there. The track is not steel, and at least it's another Woody that people will really love and enjoy. At least it's not going to be too extreme, and it's going to be pretty much almost for everybody. So maybe they can have like a 48 height requirement for this new GCI Woody. So at least that's what they can go for, or at least lower maybe, which is really, really nice. But depending on how long and how extreme it will be, they might have to go 54 inches. Like maybe if they want to do a 200-foot tall GCI Woody, maybe they can break another record for the tallest wooden coaster in North America. So, you know, at least maybe they can try to dominate. But with the land that they can use, maybe they can only make it the longest wooden roller coaster and the fastest. So I'm not sure what height it will be, but my guess is probably maybe around maybe close to 200 feet, or maybe the same height as Texas Stingray. But this is a good option because there's no other wooden coaster at the park. I mean, I really feel sorry that Blue Streak is the only one. So if they add another one, this will be a classic coaster. So there are other options out there. I just couldn't include it because the video is getting way too long. But like, they can also get a B&M flying coaster because there's nothing like it at both parks, Kings Island and Cedar Point. They also can do a B&M surf coaster because, you know, there's nothing like that in Ohio. I mean, there's Pipeline at SeaWorld Orlando, but there's really no stand-up coaster anymore in Cedar Point. They used to with Mantis, but maybe they can try to bring back a stand-up coaster. So there are a lot of options there, but you know, the video's getting way too long. I can't really feature any more because they wouldn't let me upload more than 20 minutes. So anyway, what do you think will be coming to Cedar Point? What do you think will replace Snake River Falls? Post your comments below and what ride you want to see there next. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.